I have no problem with privatization when it makes sense. I think that that if it's when there's times where the city where it does make sense. Other times, I think that we should let a free market system just stand as it is. That's.
Where would you draw the line on the privatization of services, and what types of services might you be open to privatizing?
Again, I'd probably, honestly, Steve, I'm probably have to think more about that and give you an answer that I feel more comfortable with. Thanks.
Josh Wolf?
I'm completely opposed to the privatization of our public services because there are public services, and anytime you turn them over to the highest bidder, to a private corporation, some corporate person makes a lot of money off of your tax dollars. The argument goes that private companies can manage their resources far better than the public bureaucracy, and to some extent that is true, but at what cost? The people that are working for these companies generally make a non-living wage, and the cost savings is passed up to the corporate owners of these companies. So for that reason, I'm completely opposed to privatization. I think that these are our public commons. We need to stand up and protect our public commons and not sell them off to the highest bidder, or in the case of Lennar, a no-bid contract at that.
I'm in favor of what Josh just indicated, primarily because, for me, as a tenured civil servant, I can tell you, even though when we start looking at a budget analyst report or whether or not some of the services may be cost effective or not, the key thing is that they're not that far out of line in many cases. The other thing is we want to make sure that the services are not compromised based on political reasons or based on political payoffs. And so those are the primary reasons why I would be against privatization of any of the city's services, because it gets to the point sometimes where it becomes too political.
Hey, Mike Farrer, do you want to stand in for the mayor on this one? No? Mike? Okay. The mayor did not want to send a representative. He's across the street. Okay, H. Brown, privatization.
What you have in the Housing Authority now, last week the mayor toured a couple of billionaires to some sites that were decrepit and disgusting. Now, last week I went to the guy who's taken this film here, his house, and it's in Housing Authority. It's on Bush Street. It's absolutely beautiful. The place that the mayor took the billionaires to was disgusting. But you know what it did? It had a great view. Both of these places have great views. What the city has done, they've cut the Housing Authority staff from 545 on repairs down to 300. They did the same thing with the golf courses. They prepare for privatization by taking away city employees, letting property become decrepit, then blaming it on the city employees, and then turning around and say, let a billionaire buy us out. Here, you can have this for 50 years. How about 100 years? And guess who loses? You. You lose all of the gems of San Francisco.
Thank you, H. Brown. Jerry Jarvis.
I think some privatization can work. It's what you privatize it with. Nonprofits is a way to privatize some city services. Nonprofits often hire people from the community. Nonprofits often work for the community because they're from the people from the community.
Great. And George Davis.
Yeah, this one doesn't really have a short, easy answer. It involves really cost-benefit analysis of both the municipalized sectors and the private sectors. It involves openness of contract bidding, and just there's no way to discuss in 30 seconds.
That's probably true. That's why you got next month look for a big Guardian package on privatization. We had a question. Who wanted to ask the question? You want to? You ready? Okay.
I'm so sleepy. Where's the mic? Where's for the mayoral candidates, do you think the mayor should follow a code of conduct when it comes to ethics?
An ethical code of conduct for the mayor. Let's start over here with Kenneth.
Yes, I think every mayor should follow a code of ethics, have a code of conduct. I have no issue with the mayor. I think. Hold on. Let me just say this. No, hold on. What I'm trying to say is my issue with the mayor is is all in terms of policy, and I think that's where I think I want to stay focused on this race and make sure that we do stay focused on the races, that it stays with our issues with the mayor, stay on policy issues more than anything, and that doesn't turn into a personal war with the mayor, and that we stay on the issues. So yes, every mayor should have a code of conduct. Thank you.
Grasshopper Alec Kaplan. Personally, I agree with Kenny that it doesn't really matter to me what you put in your rear or up your nose, as long as you can run the city effectively. My problems with our current administrator have to do with the operation of the city, not his own personal operations. Nevertheless, I do challenge you, Gavin, to a race of any sort, a physical race, because I want to see if you actually exist. Gavin Newsom, I personally challenge you to, I'd love to have a little swim in the bay, or how about a walk across the street, a road race, a bicycle race, any race you want to do. Hey, we could even race taxi cabs. All right, anything you like. But let's just see. Do you even exist, Gavin? I've had 4 of these things. I've brought sound. Why don't you bring yourself? Just, stumble down the stairs.
Oh. Also, I'd like to add that I've challenged the mayor to a game of basketball, a game of charity basketball for the kids. And so we're waiting for the challenge, Mayor Newsom. Thank you.
And I've challenged him to regular interviews. He's turned me down, too. Anyway, Josh?
I kind of like this idea of, like, a candidates collaborative sports thing going on, and I don't even like sports. Code of conduct. This is a very interesting one because everyone's code of conduct is going to be a little different. If you were all following the Michelle Eliota Peer, Chris Daly spat back and forth, you'll see that what is appropriate conduct is going to vary on the people. So I think that the mayor should put forward his own ethics, his own code of conduct, and then uphold whatever he puts forward. To dictate the code of conduct or the ethics that people should follow from above is kind of not the right way to go, but we should stick forward what our own ethics are and then stick to them.
I don't think there's a lot of latitude when it comes to this question. I think unequivocally, yes.
How would you enforce a code of conduct?
I don't think it's a matter of enforcing. I think it's a matter of understanding what your position is as mayor. That the entire city is you're a representative of the entire city, and as such, you should make sure that you're above reproach. And it really is. I mean, you've got kids. You've got look. This is really kind of a repulsive situation that we're probably alluding to here. But let me just say this: I think that anyone, with any dignity, would basically say that yes, there should be a code of conduct, and I'm going to be on my best behavior at all times.
What kind of conduct can we expect from an H. Brown administration?
More sex, I hope. But listen, this says, I don't care who the mayor bangs. I thought Wooly Brown was fantastic. He had a wife sitting at home and mistresses all over the town. It never hurt his administration or his conduct. This guy did. This guy was a man who stood out there and did what was happening. But you said ethics. You didn't say code of conduct. Ethics is not jumping on a poor little flower shop guy named Ed Zhu for taking a $40,000 contribution in cash. When you've taken millions and millions and millions of dollars from the Gettys and the Shorensteins and the Hellmans over the years, this man has no sense of ethics at all. He had to back off and say, whoa, I guess it's okay to take money in cash. He's taken it in business property ownership and everything down there. This guy has no code of ethics at all. I'm worried about money. I'm not worried about sex. Go get him, big guy.
All right. Thank you, H. Brown. Jerry?
I can't have no code of conduct. That's just it. I mean, I don't like nobody telling me how to live my life, and I sure don't want to be telling nobody else how to live their life. As long as I'm not doing mismanagement of the city's services, why should my code of conduct concern the citizens of San Francisco?